This is Sébastien Ogier. Rallying in the 2010s wasn't just exciting, it was transformative. A sport steeped in tradition found itself evolving, and at the heart of that change stood one man. His rivals? They weren't just any drivers. Jari Matti Latvala, Thierry Neuville, Ott Tanak, and of course, Sébastien Loeb. But among all the legends of his era, Ogier carved out a legacy that stands shoulder to shoulder with the sport's greatest icons. Because while Sébastien Loeb had owned the 2000s, the 2010s belonged to Ogier, and in doing so, he did something no other driver had managed, stepping out of Loeb's towering shadow to build a legacy uniquely his own. This is the story of how Sébastien Ogier rose from an ambitious young talent to a rally legend, and why he's arguably one of the greatest drivers the sport has ever seen. It all started back in 2008. At 24 years old, Ogier won the Junior World Rally Championship in his very first attempt. He wasn't just winning stages, he was making a statement. His speed, precision, and sheer determination caught the attention of Citroën, who quickly brought him into their fold. He debuted in the World Rally Championship that same year, immediately turning heads with a points finish on his first outing at Rally Mexico. By 2010, Ogier wasn't just another young driver, he was threatening the establishment. Paired with Sébastien Loeb at Citroën, Ogier didn't back down from the 7-time world champion. He pushed Loeb to the limit, winning his first WRC event at Rally Portugal and coming close to victories at other rallies. But in a team built around Loeb, Ogier's rising ambition clashed with internal politics. He wasn't willing to play second fiddle, and that tension would define his exit. In 2012, Ogier made a decision that many thought was career suicide. He joined Volkswagen Motorsport, a team that hadn't even entered a WRC car yet. He spent the year testing a developmental vehicle while competing in an outdated Skoda Fabia. Critics wondered if he'd thrown away his shot at a title. But Ogier was playing the long game. He wasn't just looking for a seat, he was building a program. When Volkswagen finally debuted the Polo R WRC in 2013, the gamble paid off in spectacular fashion. Ogier didn't just win, he dominated. He clinched his first world title that year, taking 9 rally wins and ending Loeb's decade of dominance. It wasn't just a victory for Ogier, it was a passing of the torch. A new Sebastien was in charge. And this was only the beginning. Ogier would go on to win 4 consecutive world titles with Volkswagen from 2013 to 2016, turning the Polo R into one of the most successful cars in WRC history. His partnership with co-driver Julian Ingrassia became the gold standard in rally teamwork. The combination of Ogier's aggressive yet controlled driving and Ingrassia's flawless pace notes made them nearly untouchable. But Ogier's dominance wasn't just about outright speed. What made him truly exceptional was his intelligence and adaptability. He mastered the art of managing road position, an often overlooked but critical aspect of rallying. Starting first on the road meant sweeping loose gravel for the cars behind, a disadvantage that could cost minutes across a rally. But Ogier learned to minimize the damage, keeping himself in the fight even on stages designed to slow him down. His ability to extract maximum points from difficult situations became his signature. When Volkswagen announced their sudden withdrawal from the WRC at the end of 2016, many predicted the end of Ogier's winning run. Without the resources of a factory-backed team, how could he stay on top? But once again, Ogier defied expectations. He signed with M Sport Ford, a privateer team with a fraction of Volkswagen's budget. And against all odds, he won the 2017 World Rally Championship. And then, incredibly, he did it again in 2018. These two titles with M Sport are, for many, the crowning achievements of his career. Unlike his Volkswagen years, Ogier wasn't driving the most dominant car. He wasn't backed by the deepest pockets, but through sheer grit, consistency, and brilliant strategy, he beat the factory giants. It was David versus Goliath, and Ogier came out on top. Each season brought fresh challenges, faster rivals, evolving regulations, mechanical gremlins. Yet Ogier remained the benchmark. His rivalry with Thierry Neuville became one of the sport's defining battles, with championship fights going down to the final rally on multiple occasions. And even as young guns like Ott Tanak emerged, Ogier showed he wasn't ready to hand over the reins. In 2020, now driving for Toyota, Ogier claimed his 7th world title, tying him with Loeb's legendary co-driver Daniel Elena for total championships between driver and navigator pairs. Then, in 2021, he secured his 8th world title, cementing his place as the 2nd most successful driver in WRC history, behind only Loeb's 9. But what makes Ogier's record unique isn't just the number of titles, it's how and when he won them. He achieved his championships across 3 different teams, driving for Volkswagen, M Sport Ford, and Toyota. He won under different regulations, different eras, and against a rotating cast of world-class rivals. His adaptability is unparalleled. Beyond the numbers, Ogier's legacy is also about his evolution as a driver. Early in his career, he was known for raw speed and occasional recklessness. But over time, he transformed into a master of risk management, knowing exactly when to push and when to hold back. His ability to read a rally, control the pace, and play the long game is what turned him from a fast driver into a serial champion. Even after stepping back from full-time competition at the end of 2021, Ogier continues to prove his class. In part-time appearances, he's still winning rallies, showing that the fire and the talent remain undiminished. And outside the cockpit, he's become a respected mentor and ambassador for the sport, helping to guide rallying into its hybrid era. So, just how good was Sébastien Ogier? He wasn't just the successor to Loeb, he was a game-changer in his own right. His blend of speed, strategy, and adaptability created a blueprint for the modern rally driver. His records may one day be surpassed, but the way he won, the battles he fought, and the eras he conquered have already secured his place among the greatest. Ogier's story is one of relentless evolution. He never stayed static. He didn't just win with the best car. He found ways to win even without it. He wasn't content to follow in Loeb's footsteps. He forged his own path, competing not just with his rivals, but with the very idea of what it means to be a champion. For fans around the world, Ogier wasn't just a winner. He was an example of what focus, intelligence, and resilience can achieve. And while debates about the greatest rally driver of all time will always continue, one thing is certain: rallying would not be the same without Sébastien Ogier.